What's up, fam? It's LT the Capital Guy. Just taking a little walk here, trying to stay healthy, be healthy in 2022. And I encourage you guys to do the same thing. It's easy to get into a rut when you're coming out of the holidays, after eating all that good food that grandma cooked or mama cooked. But we always have to keep in mind that when we are in business as entrepreneurs, we have to have our business affairs in order, as well as our health and our body affairs, also our spiritual affairs. I'm not sure where any of you guys are spiritually, but wherever you are, you need to make sure that you take care of your mind. And so I'm just out here trying to get a little exercise. Again, this is LT the Capital Guy. And I wanted to talk to you guys about your trade lines. Now, I discussed a little earlier, if you catch that video, I was talking about taking care of your trade lines. But another thing that you need to do is make your payments on time. And believe me, I am one of the most forgetful people that's out there. I mean, I have to constantly write things down, use reminders, and I still forget stuff. But there's one thing that I don't forget, and I've been building these trade lines for nearly a year for my business, and I've never missed a payment, and I've always paid early. And that's one thing that I encourage you to do. But believe me, it's not because I remembered to pay my bills, because there were several times I totally forgot that I had ordered something from a vendor, but it was because of the way I tracked my purchases that I was able to actually pay my bills on time. And I use that strategy a lot, even with my personal bills, is I make sure that I have them all documented so that I can pay them when they're actually due to be paid. Now, with business trade lines, you actually want to pay them if you want to increase your score even more. It's good. It's good to pay your bills by the due date. So if you're paying all your bills by the due date, you're golden. But you can actually get higher credit scores if you pay your bills before the due date. For instance, your paydex score with Dun & Bradstreet could go higher than an 80, which is good. 80 means you're paying your bills on time, and that's good. You're low risk to many of these vendors and lenders that are out there. But if you pay your bill as soon as the invoice comes out, which typically could be anywhere from 7 to 10 days before the due date, then you're in a better position and setting yourself up to achieve a higher score if you're consistently doing that. And your trade lines are going to look a lot better. So I would recommend, if you can, pay your bills as soon as the invoice comes out. But you definitely do not want to be in a situation where the due date comes and the due date goes and your bill has not been paid with your net 30 or net 45, net 60 or net 90, whatever you have, vendors. So just to give you some tips on what I do in order to make sure my bills are paid on time, and you don't have to do this, you can come up with your own method, but this is just what works for me. And if I sound like I'm out of breath, that's true, because I'm terribly out of shape. So I'm trying to work on getting healthier so that I can do these without actually getting out of breath here. But anyway, so one of the things that I do is, as soon as I open up a new account, I have a spreadsheet that I use that has the information for my account on it. So for instance, it would have the name of the account. It would have the type of account that it is, whether it's, say, a vendor account, maybe an installment account, credit card or revolving account. And it would have the date. And it would have the date that I placed an order, maybe the order number. Also, when the invoice comes out, I also record the invoice number. And I record the due date. And then what I do is I even go a little step further. I'm pretty good with Excel, and I use Google Sheets, but it's pretty much the same thing. I created a formula that gives me a calculation of how many days it is from today to the due date. And what I do is I monitor that spreadsheet daily. And I even take it a step further. I have a VA, or virtual assistant, for some of you that aren't familiar with VAs. And that virtual assistant, besides doing some other things for me, she also checks that spreadsheet daily. And she used to send me reminders daily through Skype about what needs to be paid. So one of her jobs is I told her, I said, I do not want to pay any of these bills late. So she makes it her mission. And I told her, I gave her permission to harass me and bug me and get on my nerves. And she started laughing, but I told her I was dead serious. Because if she does all that and I still miss the payment, it's only my fault. So she does that, but I also have a CRM, which she enters tasks in for me. And then what happens is she actually puts due dates on those and has it send me reminders. And there are ways you can even do that utilizing Google Sheets and maybe Gmail, maybe with Zapier and some of these other integration tools. But whatever works, the idea is you want to make sure that you're paying all your bills on time, every time, and not be in a situation where you are late on any of your trade line payments. Because if that's the case, hey, how you doing? If that's the case, you're setting yourself up big time for failure in your business. So I know it's a simple thing. You think it'd be something that should go without saying, but again, I've seen people post things about how they're, something happened, they missed a payment or didn't think something, or forgot basically. And that should not happen for any reason. So I would make sure that you do whatever you can to make sure that you are making all your payments on time.